Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you once again for stopping by, and if you're new to my channel, you are highly welcome, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And to my old subscribers, thank you for all your support. I really appreciate. So guys, in today's video we'll be making this palm oil native jollof rice. So if you like to see how I made this rice, stay tuned and do not go anywhere. Continue watching. Without wasting much time, I'll quickly introduce you to the ingredients we'll be using for this recipe. So over here I have Abode, I have some bell pepper, I have smoked fish, I have crayfish, I have iru, that's locust bean, I have some ginger paste, I have scent leaves, I just brought it out from the freezer, I have some mixed herbs, I have some tomatoes, I have seasoning cubes and some red onions. So what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and season my abode. You can use any meat of your choice, but I want to use abode for this rice. That's why I'm using abode. I'll go ahead to season that with some crayfish, some seasoning cube and onions. I'll go ahead to add some aromat as well. I will not be adding salt since I've added aromat to this meat. So once I've seasoned my meat, I'll go ahead to add some water and cover it to cook. So while that one is cooking, I'll go ahead to blend the bell peppers and the onions that I'll be using to cook the rice. So I'll go ahead to roughly blend them, and yes, so once I finish blending them, I'll go ahead to parboil my rice. I will be doing that one off camera. Go ahead and wash it and set it aside and get other things ready. So over here my meat is done. I've checked it and it's soft enough for my liking, so I will set that one aside, and then in another pot I will add my palm oil. Yes, I'll be using palm oil for this recipe. That's the main reason for this recipe, because when you use palm oil to cook rice, it gives it some kind of unique taste. So I'll be using palm oil. Then once I've added my oil, I'll allow it to heat up. Then I'll add the onions. I'll go ahead to add my iru at this point. Then I will stir it and allow it to simmer for just 1 minute. And I'll go ahead to add the crayfish. Yes, I'll add the crayfish at this point, because I noticed that whenever I add my crayfish, when I'm making jollof rice, I add the crayfish at that same point I've added the onions. It gives it a unique taste. So I've just added the crayfish. I'll go ahead to add the ginger paste. Then I'll stir everything together, allow it to boil for 1 minute or two. Then I'll go ahead to add the blended pepper and onions. Then I will stir it once more, and I'll cover it to cook. So while that one is cooking, and I'll go ahead to cut the apple there. I'll cut them into tiny pieces. I'm not cutting everything, but I love to get the bite of it from the rice, so I'll go ahead to chop it up into tiny pieces, not everything. So once I've finished with that one, I'll set that aside. By now the liquid on the pepper has gone down, so I'll go ahead to add my tomato sauce. That's the tomato and basil sauce. Normally this is they said it's for pasta, but it tastes so different when you use it to cook jollof rice. So I normally use it to cook my jollof rice. So I'll go ahead to add that, then turn it one more time, and I'll cover it again to boil for like another 2 to 3 minutes. So after 3 minutes, this is what it's looking like. So what I will do next now is to go ahead to add the abode, the one I chopped, the tiny ones, and once I add that, I'll go ahead to add my smoked fish. I will turn it and cover it one more time to simmer. Once it has simmered, I will go ahead to add my seasoning cube and the mixed herb. So once I've added my seasoning cube and the mixed herb, the next thing that will go in is my rice. I've already washed the rice, so I'll go ahead to add it. So guys, if you watched to this very point, thank you once again for staying with us, and yeah, and please consider subscribing to my channel. So once I've added the rice, I'll go ahead to turn it and make sure that everything is well incorporated. And what I will do next is to add my meat stock. Once I've added the meat stock, I'll add some water that will be enough to cook the rice. The quantity of the water you will add depends on if you parboiled the rice before cooking it or if you just washed it. But for me, I've already parboiled my rice, so I will not be needing a lot of water for this. So once I've added the water, I'll go ahead to add some aromat. Because I've just tested for salt, there's no salt, so I need to add some aromat. And once everything is okay, I'll go ahead to add the remaining abode. Once I've added it, I'll add the scent leaves, and that's it. I cover it and allow it to cook. So here is the final look, guys. So thank you once again for staying with us. If you've watched to this very point, once again, please consider subscribing to my channel, and thank you, and please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, and God bless you.